Hi, everyone. How's everybody doing? Good? Got the energy to receive my 15 minutes? Yeah. Thank you for putting on this event. Thank you, Mama Bali, all the Balinese, for creating this space and the openness for us to even be here and be welcomed in an event like this. And I've been listening to all the speakers because I always show up not really knowing what I'm going to talk about. And there's so much light here. There's so much love here. There's so many solutions. There's people who literally are mapping flow states and also describing technologies that are here and now that are capable of solving so many of the world's issues. And I feel a bit of a responsibility to also speak to the here and now of the shadow. Anyone who's spent enough time in Bali knows it comes up. And the truth is that I've been in depression. I've been battling depression for many months now. Just recently, through the help of two therapists, I actually put a name to it. And so I just want to give you some facts. And while I'm speaking, I'm going to do some check-ins with you. And the main thing is to pay attention to how it feels in your body. So as I give you these facts, I have depression, or I've been diagnosed with depression according to the medical definition. I sometimes have suicidal thoughts. I sometimes feel like a fraud. I sometimes feel like I'll never break out of it because it runs in my family. Just pay attention to how that feels, to hear that. And would anyone like to share, how many of you feel connected to me? Anyone feel connected? Good. Great. And how many of you right now are feeling a deep right in this moment, a deep emotional experience? And please don't, be truthful about it. Great. And so now what I'm going to do is something that I don't think I've actually ever done before. It's really vulnerable for me. I'm going to read a poem that I haven't finished yet, that I've been writing in the space of this shadow as I sit with it. And it's funny because I have a poem that's gone viral that a lot of you have probably seen or heard that's all about self-love, and I've been really struggling to find that for myself, and so I decided that I'm going to turn it into art. And what I'm here to talk about today is the technology of art, which I'll get into after this, where I share with you what I've been working on. And it's not done yet. I like to end everything in a nice bow, but can I have everyone take a nice deep inhale? Exhale. I had depression. I say had instead of have because I have hope that one day it'll be the past. Nope, it won't last. I'll be free of its grasp. Cut the rope around my neck. I can finally gasp. Some fresh air, not depressed air. The best I've breathed in my life. I swear it's the best air. And new lease on life. Answer to all my prayers. I'm seeing love everywhere. I just stare like a Care Bear. Love being alive. Never thought I would get here. But then I feel it. That familiar tinge, a constriction around my heart. That's how it always begins. Board the windows, lock the doors, don't let it in. But resistance is futile. Depression is persistent. Knock, knock. Hello. Where did you think I would go? You and I are bound for eternity. I thought you would know. Cut our cord and you die. That's the end of the show. So, I'd rather I died than be tied to you for the rest of my life. Give me the rope, I'll tie the noose. Give me the pills I can abuse. Give me a knife I can use and finally choose. Cut me loose from this reality to which happiness seems like a dream. Embrace mortality might be selfish, but I'll know what pain-free finally means. Oh, my love. You think killing yourself would actually save you from me? From the cradle to the grave, this lifetime's all you can see. But beyond this one life, your soul and I keep on dancing, 'cause it's your soul that needs me most, and I give your soul safety. So you may hate me for the way it feels lately. You ungrateful little bitch, you should probably thank me. Thank you? For what? Keeping me stuck? Can't even get up without feeling kicked in the gut. Eyes terrified when they're wide open, and I tried keeping them both shut. Can't hide from you or deny the truth. You've got me tied up, but I'm done listening to you. I'll get you to shut up, even if it costs me my life. I no longer give a fuck. Go on. Kill yourself. I'm calling your bluff. We both know it's all show. Why are you acting so tough? You cried when you wrote this, felt hopeless, almost choked. It's one thing to wish you were strong, but don't know is if you've noticed, I'm the source of your strength. I'm the one protecting your heart, only one caring to start preparing you for when things fall apart. And they always do. You know it's true. Love doesn't last, but I'll never leave you. It's not done. I'd like to know, with a show of hands, how many of you are feeling really deeply now. You see, art is a technology. Art is a technology. And so while we talk about the solutions on this planet, and they're all based in love, and we talk about what is possible when we hold the embodiment of love and higher consciousness, what needs to be spoken about is most of this planet is incapable currently of accessing it because of trauma. There is trauma stored in their bodies from personal experience. Most of this world has experienced some form of sexual abuse. Add in physical abuse. Add in things like divorce. These things that become traumas in large part because we haven't been told how to properly process them. And so they store in the system. And I've been doing so much. I've been detoxing my physical body and heavy metals and parasites, and I've been seeing therapists and energy work and doing so many hours of research, watching YouTube videos and reading up on depression and trauma, because I was sexually abused at the age of 5, and I didn't remember it till later in life. And so, how do you process, right? How do you learn to process? And there's one of my therapists said something really amazing about depression. He said, depression is the result of an inability to access a deep level of sorrow and pain. Meaning that we can think we're processing it, and we're getting through like one of these amazing vegan moose things that I can't eat because I'm detoxing, is like these layers and they're swept away, but there's this lower sediment of pain and trauma and sorrow that is inaccessible because people don't feel safe enough to access it. You see, what we allow ourselves to process through our system is what we feel safe enough to process. And so right now on this planet, what we have is people who do not feel safe enough to process, and therefore the deepest core wounds of our planet and this human race are not being accessed. And so it doesn't matter what we build on top of that. The foundation will always remain cracked until we find a way to address it. And there's something that I learned. I'm learning so much about this. I feel like I'm pretty much going to start speaking about trauma and healing depression and all these things. That's the way that this goes, but it's necessary, I think, it's my path currently. And something that I've learned is the reason why it hasn't worked for me over the years to fully feel like I'm free of this is because I've been approaching it looking for catharsis. Going down into Peru and working with the Shipibo tribes, going into Kamba, going into Iboga, like whatever it is, looking for a catalyst, looking for a cathartic moment. And the thing about trauma is that it comes in with that energy. It's imprinted in that violent, fast, quick way. And so when we try and heal it, when we try and remove it through that energy, we're just meeting it and it sends it into fight or flight. It shuts down, it boards the windows and locks the doors. You heal trauma, I'm learning, through titration. Titration, taken from Peter Levine, who's someone I'm learning a lot from right now, talks about titration. He borrowed it from chemistry. Chemistry is one of these things when you take like an acid and a base, and if you mix them together, they explode. But if you just take one drop at a time, if you take a drop, put it in, it fizzes, psst, and another drop, psst, and then eventually neutralizes. And so what we have as we work on our collective pain, our individual pain, our sorrow, our depression, whatever we want to call it, as we work on that, we get to go through it through titration, through gentleness, through consistency, and through safety. And that's where art comes in. Art is the permission slip to get people to feel. When someone walks into a movie theater, they are saying, I want to have an emotional experience. When someone turns on their favorite song, they are turning it on because it makes them feel something. Each one of you right now got to experience the difference between me giving you some facts and even a little bit of story, letting you feel my heart about what that did for you. You might have felt for me. But in the poem, without even having asked you directly, I know because it's what I believe to be absolutely empirically true about art. It gets you to feel. And there's so many ways, and I could talk for a long time about the reasons for this, including the projection of yourself onto the protagonist and all the other variables that go into why art is a technology. But understand that art predates pretty much all communication. In many ways, art, singing, like just making noises, was the first form of communication. We can look at the cave drawings, the hieroglyphs, we can look at this and realize art has been a part of human beings. It is in our DNA to receive it. It is an ancient technology. And if what we're here to do is actually help support humanity in breaking loose and breaking free and titrating their way out of the collective depression that so many people feel, which is evident based on the amount of society that has been built and continues to thrive based on numbing that pain. The foods, the alcohol, the sex, the drugs, the numbing that is all around us. Why? Because it's not malicious. It's because people don't know how to process the pain. They don't know how to process the trauma. So that safety, we get to create that, and the safety is in the art. So whatever you're designing, whatever it is that, if the fact that you're here, I believe that you have a big vision for this planet, and you have a voice, and it deserves to be heard. You're choosing out of all the things that you could do, you chose to be here. That says a lot. And so my encouragement above all else is for you, as you're going about your mission, are thinking about art, are thinking about the safe container that it creates and the necessity of that safe container to get people to feel all the things that they haven't wanted to feel. Because only when people are able to do that will we actually bring heaven onto earth. Will we actually be living in the golden age, the new paradigm, whatever you want to call it? And so I'm going to end with a poem. Many of you have probably heard, but the truth is I really need to hear it right now, so I'm going to say it. This poem is called You Are Who You've Been Looking For. Can I have everyone take a nice deep breath in and out? You are who you've been looking for. So stop looking for more unless you're looking in a mirror, because it's about time for you to see clearly that you are who you've been looking for. And that empty feeling you got, that hole in your chest, you only got that feeling because you think you're not blessed with everything you need. You see, we live in a consumerist society, which means they need you to buy stuff. And the easiest way to sell it is to tell you you're not enough. Buy this car, you'll get girls. Buy this bra, you'll get guys. And we're seeing it so much that we start believing these lies. But the truth is, the makeup they're selling to make you feel prettier is the same makeup you buy to stop feeling shittier about this lie they keep telling you that you are not enough. And what about the movies we watch, all the shows on TV? The more I watch, the more I see I need you to complete me. And yes, love is the answer, love is the key, but if you can't love yourself, how can you ever love me? And loving yourself, what does that even mean? Like massages and selfies and that sort of thing? Because the more I think about it, the more it feels weird. I've always thought that self-love was something to be feared. I was taught that arrogance is bad and vanity, it's not good. And even my bracelets are telling me to act how Jesus would. So what should I do? How should I act? I'm supposed to love myself, but how do I even do that? Well, I got a trick that I picked up from a friend who noticed that I was quick to defend her when she would say something negative about herself. She'd say, "I'm so dumb," and I'd say, "You're so brilliant." She'd say, "I'm so weak," and I'd say, "You're so resilient." And when she said, "I feel ugly," and I said, "You look beautiful," she asked me why I was so dutifully filling up her cup constantly and yet treating my own cup so irresponsibly. Because when I looked in the mirror, my voice was quite clear. You're ugly, you're too thin, your hairline's receding, and you got a pimple on your chin. And that was when she gave me a piece of advice that changed my life. She gave me a hug. And she said, treat yourself like someone you love. Treat yourself like someone you love. Now, I had been standing, but I needed to be sitting because I couldn't believe that I had been letting myself keep forgetting that I was who I'd been looking for. And deep in my core, I knew it was time to stop looking for more until I could look through all my fear and look into a mirror and see clearly that the man looking back at me is the only one who can make me happy, and I am already enough. And I am not any more special or unique than you. That's why I'm here to speak to you. You are already enough. And when you start to see that, you will start to be that. Your world will get brighter, your load will get lighter, and you can see with life you can be a lover, not a fighter, and that life, you deserve it. Because you are worth it. And there's no point in letting yourself keep forgetting, because no matter what you say or do, you are perfect. And so today, I hope I leave you with a direction, correction, away from the flaws you see in your reflection. They aren't flaws to me, they are simply protection against all the doubts you have of your perfection. So start today. Take a good, long look in the mirror and say, I am who I've been looking for. Thank you.